Righto, so for this tutorial I'll be using a 5mm hook and some nice thick yarn so you can see exactly what I am doing. So yeah, once you've got these, come back and I'll show you what to do next. Righto, so for a picot, we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then into the third chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, we're going to be going into that chain and creating a slip stitch. Okay, so we're going to go through that chain, pull up a loop, and then pull your loop through the loop on the hook, and that's a slip stitch. And then do 2 single crochets across. Chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. So for this one, we're going to be going behind this V section. So we're going through the top one, and then we'll go through that next V. See, so there's a little V, and that's what we're going to be going through. So again, going through these two, and then we slip stitch, and I'm going to do 2 single crochets across. Chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. So now for this type of picot, we're going to be going just through this top V. So here's your V, we're only going to be going through the top loop, whereas the other one we went through both of these loops. For this one we just want to go through that top loop. So in through this top loop, we yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop. 1, 2, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now for this style, we're going to be going through this single crochet space. So we're going to be going through here, pull up a loop, pull through the loop on the hook to create our slip stitch. 1, 2. So these are the 4 different styles of picot that I know of that are out there. So I'm going to show you another, like, in-depth how to do all these different styles. I usually pick number 2 or number 1 depending on what look I want to go for. This picot has been twisted in a weird way. There we go, that's better. Just because I like how it's a bit more of an arc, where this way and this way it's a bit bunched, and I don't like the gap, but yeah, these are just different ways that I figured out how to do these stitches. So yeah, stay with me and I'll show you how to do those all in a little bit more depth. Okay, so I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. And then back into the third chain from the hook. So this chain here, we yarn over and we pull up a loop. And then we pull the loop through the loop on the hook. Then we single crochet across 2, 1, 2, and then chain up 3 again, 1, 2, 3. Now this chain space can be as big or as small as the pattern requires, or as you require for what project you're doing. But yeah, I'm just doing 2 across as a nice spacing so you can see what I'm doing fairly easily. Okay, so back into the third chain from the hook, we do our next slip stitch. So yarn over, pull a loop through the loop that we just had on the hook, and then pull that same loop through the chain on the hook. And then we will do single crochets across, or whatever crochets you're using. I'll show you how to do a chain as well with a picot. So then we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we do a picot into the third chain from the hook. And then I'll do 2 my single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then again into the third chain from the hook, pull up and do our single crochet. 1, 2. So yeah, that's how we do this loop. I'll bring it up real close and I'll just pull this last one out so you can really see what I'm doing. I'll chain up 2, 1, oh no, 3, 2, 3, and then through the third loop from the hook, chain from the hook, we pull up a loop, sorry, and that's how we do, that's how we do our stitches. Alright, so I'll show you the second way to do it. Okay, so for this way, we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then through the 2 loops on the V, we're going to go through both of those 2 loops. And we're going to do a slip stitch. So we yarn over, pull through those 2 loops of the V, till you got your loop, and then pull that loop through the loop on the hook. And that creates our first picot. Again, keep in mind, you know, this space or whatever stitches you're doing will be relevant to the pattern, but so we go up 3, going through these 2 spaces, pull up, pull through. So through the V again, going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, going through the third chain from the hook, oh sorry, going through the V on the single crochet, pull up, and then we'll go across a little bit. I'll bring it nice and close so you can see exactly what I'm doing for the very last stitch. Going through these 2, yarn over, and pull through the loops on the hook. And yeah, that's the second way to do your slip stitch. This one got a little bit twisted. Just remember, sometimes your loops will get a bit twisted and you just pull them out like that and it's nice and normal again. So yeah, I'll show you the third way to do it. Alright, let's chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then like before, we're going to be going through the top of this V. So one loop of the V that we can see, we're going to be going through that, and then we're going to be doing a slip stitch. So I'll show you in the so in our second one, 1, 2, 3 for our chain up 3 picot, and then into the top of this V here, we're going to pull through and do a slip stitch again. 1, 2, 3. Again, we're going to be going through the top part of the V there and do a slip stitch. So I'll bring this right up close for the fourth and final stitch. 1, 2, 3 picot, and then in through this loop, yarn over, and we pull through to do our slip stitch. And yeah, so this is how we do that type of picot. This is the other way that I like to use most. It just depends on what I'm going for. But yeah, stay with me and I'll show you the final way to do it. Okay, so we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. And this final way, I go through this V part here, so through the stitch. So rather than going at it in this direction, we want to go at it in this direction and get these 2 loops here to go onto the hook. So I'll bring in the smaller one because this is the kind of difficult one to explain. Fan! No, move. Okay, so through this part here, so see how you got the V's? I'm trying to get it to, we want to go through this part here. So here's the stitch. Normally, this is where we want to go through this part here, and you want to make sure you've gone through all of it. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that 4 times. So in through this part here, we pull up and then we pull, and then I'll chain over 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Going through, pull up a loop. 1, 2, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. Going through this little V section here. We do our slip stitch. 1, 2. Right, no, I did 3. 1, 2, 3 chain, and then again I'll bring it up nice and close. So through this part here. So make sure when you're doing this, you're getting behind this part of the loop. So going through that, we yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that through that loop. And I'll just single crochet over. Okay, so yeah, this is how we do all of our picots. So there's our final way to do a picot. I really liked using this one because it leaves a bit of a loop, but there we go. So I'm going to be doing chain 3 picots. Chain 4 is the exact same premise, you just chain up 4. So we're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the third chain from the hook, we're going to do a slip stitch. So we slip stitch back into that chain, and then in the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. So I'll do another one across, and that shows us one way to do a picot. Another way that I do picots, we'll do a chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then through these 2 stitches of the V, so I'll bring this right up. So most of your stitches will, your stitches will have this little V section. You want to be going through those 2, like so, yarn over, and then we slip stitch into that space. So again, I'll do a single crochet 2 across. So these are 2 ways that I tend to do my picots. It really depends on what I'm doing. So usually when I'm on a nice broad, like I'm doing the picot off of something like this single crochet here, I'll tend to use this one. Whereas if I'm doing a chain, I tend to be doing this one. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So when I'm going 1, 2, we'll chain up 2, and then we'll chain up 3 for our picot. 1, 2, 3. I tend to do into the third stitch from the chain, we'll do our picot. Because there's not really any other way you can do it. Then we'll chain 2, and then we'll skip the next 2, and we'll place another single crochet into that space. So yeah, when I'm doing a chain, this is when I usually do this, but when I'm doing it on the row like this, I tend to do it through those 2 loops. It really just depends what kind of look you're trying to gain. But yeah, there are different ways you do your picot. So I'll show you the same thing, but if it was a 4 picot instead of a 3. So we'll unravel all of that. We'll do our standing single at the end. So yeah, again, you can do chain 5, chain 6, it doesn't really matter. But say we're doing a chain 4 picot, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, and then we go into the top of, into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, into this chain here, and then we do our slip stitch. And then I'll do a single crochet into the next 2 to show off the picot. So the picot's a bit more rounded. Okay, so now we'll do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 picot. And then again through these 2 loops from the stitch, we're going to slip stitch into that. I'll do 2 single crochets, and that shows you the difference. This one's gotten twisted, which is kind of annoying. So one thing I don't like about doing the 4, but there we go. There we go. That's better. So the picot's a bit twisted, but yeah, there's the 2 different picots. Now if we chain up 2, 1, 2, and we go 4 picot, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4th stitch from the chain, 1, 2, 3, 4. We do a slip stitch, and then we chain 2, 1, 2. So skipping 3, we'll do 2 single crochets into the last 2 stitches. So yeah, there your picot 4. It's really up to you what you do, and it depends on what kind of look you're going for. But there's 2 different ways I do my picots. I hope you like this tutorial. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!